Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Suarez. I am the Digital Marketing Manager here at Waste Consultants. Today, we are going to talk about why should I get a medical waste audit? So you're the perfect candidate for a medical waste audit if you generate medical waste and have not evaluated your invoices in the past 6 months. It's also true for you if you have experienced any price increases in the past 12 months, if you cannot explain any of the fees on your medical waste invoices, and lastly, if you want to find savings. So in the next few slides, we'll discuss each of these categories. First off, do you generate medical waste? Depending on your industry, you may produce anywhere from one single waste item to several hundred pounds of waste a day. If you're a mass producer, you may have hidden savings opportunities. Unfortunately, medical waste services are notorious for their exorbitant fees and frequent price hikes. Many companies assume that paying high prices correlates with the quality of services received, and unfortunately, that is just not necessarily the case. We consistently find quality vendors who provide safe disposal services at better rates. Unless your contracts have been carefully formulated, your rates are likely not limited or capped at a certain percentage, and you may be locked into an unnecessarily long term. This creates the ideal situation for you to unintentionally overpay on medical waste disposal services. In fact, we recently conducted an audit for an assisted living management company with 20 locations. At just one site, we were able to reduce their medical waste expenses from $875 per month down to only $45. They're saving 95% each month for $830. High prices do not necessarily mean you're getting the best services, and it definitely doesn't mean you're getting the best rates. Second question, are you monitoring your medical waste invoices? If you haven't thoroughly reviewed your invoices in the past 6-ish months, don't worry, you're in good company. Most companies don't have the time or the resources to thoroughly review paperwork that seems non-urgent. If you're not looking carefully at your invoices, you may not notice price hikes or billing discrepancies. And unfortunately, these are pretty regular occurrences. In the 17 years we've been in business, we see errors about 10% of the time. This can add up to hundreds of dollars in missed savings or credit opportunities for just a single location. If you can't connect your invoice fees to actual services, there's a good chance you're being overcharged. Have you experienced any price increases recently? So if you have had a significant price increase in the past 12 months, it means that your contract likely has less than ideal terms. It means that you're paying your vendor more than you should. Your contract needs to have rate increases capped at a certain amount or be eliminated altogether. Different waste vendors are going to be open to different options. This will be entirely dependent on whether your vendor is willing to provide these terms. If you are nearing the end of your contract term, they may be willing to include these modifications in a new contract. A few service providers are willing to make significant adjustments to terms in the middle of a contract. Some may, but unfortunately not many. Do you have unexplained fees? A fair cost of service should always be included on an invoice. However, most invoices will include additional fees on top of regular service costs. Many companies will simply tack these fees on because they can. Your contract does not limit them. They're not transparent because they're not always completely legitimate fees. These fees may have difficult to understand names like cost recovery fee or regulatory fee. These names may sound official, but they're not always associated with the actual cost of providing service. In fact, sometimes they occur on your invoices simply to increase revenue. If you can't connect your invoice fees to actual services provided, there's a good chance you're being overcharged. These fees are not required to be on your invoices. Many service providers are actually willing to completely forego them if a favorable and fair contract can be installed. You don't have to pay them if your contract specifically prohibits them from occurring on your invoices. Do you want to find savings? If you want to know for sure that you're not sitting on savings opportunities, you need an independent auditor to evaluate your waste streams. It's so easy to unintentionally overpay on your waste expenses, and expert analysis will find where you're overspending. If you want to find savings, look for an auditor who will provide a free initial audit. This means you can take on zero initial risk in order to ensure your medical waste disposal services are efficient. This consultant model is guaranteed to be cash flow positive since you will only pay the auditor out of the savings they have found for you. It's not an additional line item, making it easier for budgeting.